We can't kill if they're dead. Now you're fighting with heart, Guardian.
That don't make no sense, bro. Hey, what up, superstars? It's your boy Ibetonme with some more Destiny 2 content. Guys, if you don't know, light heavyweight shotguns have gotten a major buff. And I'm telling you, man, this is feeling like almost like Forsaken, Destiny 2 Forsaken type shotgunning, okay? All right, but there's one shotgun that's separating itself, and I'm telling you, this is the king of lightweight shotguns, and that is the Wastelander M5. As you can see in the background, this is the Wastelander I am using in this video gameplay, along with this God Roll Elite AR2, but I'm going to show you guys the God Roll that you want to craft, the one that I'm going to be crafting, and I'm telling you, this thing is going to be nasty. Also, make sure you come back in a few days to the channel, because I'm actually going to break down all the best lightweight shotguns, and I'm going to give you guys the best God Roll for each role for PvP and PvE. Also, I definitely want to tell you guys, welcome to the channel. I appreciate the support. Now, you could get this weapon by playing the Dares of Eternity offensive. Also, you can use treasure keys to get it from Xur's treasure hoard as well. Now, it used to be real hard to get 5 red borders of this weapon to drop in Xur's treasure hoard when it first came out. I only had gotten 1. So, man, it took so long to get 1. So I was just like, forget it, man. I'll just play with the regular one. And I actually forgot about them, and I just put it in my vault, these weapons. And since then, Bungie has greatly increased the drop rate of red borders. I actually got 2 within like 20 minutes the other day. And then on my last 2, I used the deep sight harmonizer that you get from your season pass on 2 roles that I had picked up by playing Dares of Eternity. Now, the Wastelander is a craftable kinetic shotgun, so that means it goes in the first weapon slot. And it's also a lightweight frame, so it has superb handling, and you move faster with this weapon with it equipped. And I remember back in 2019, I had did a test on how lightweights, you run faster with lightweight weapons, lightweight shotguns, and I think for every 40 meters, it took like 1 second off your time, so it's very noticeable. It also has a base of 80 rounds per minute, 6 in the magazine if you're in PvE, and 2 in the magazine if you're in PvP, and it has a recoil direction of 51. Now, when it comes to this weapon's damage output, you're looking at to the body 18.33, and to the head, which is the crit, you're looking at 20.31. Now, if you get a shot to the head or the body, it's pretty much gonna kill them unless you whiff it. And we all know shotguns sometimes can be inconsistent. Also, down in the comment section, guys, I would definitely love to know what you guys think about this weapon. Also, what roles are you going to be crafting with this Wastelander M5? Also, guys, this weapon comes with a really good weapon trait called Hot Swap, almost similar to how Quick Draw used to be. Well, with this trait, when you switch to this weapon while you are damaged, you strongly increase handling for a short duration. So with swords, you gain increased charge time, guard resistance, and guard endurance instead. So how this works, when you receive damage, it immediately grants sturdy handling for 4 seconds to your weapon. And handling controls how fast you can have that weapon ready so you could get a kill. And man, I ain't gonna lie to you, how Destiny 2 is now, man, how it's so fast and aggressive, this is a perk that you really need on this weapon. And if you're using a sword, it adds 100 to your guard resistance, 100 to your guard endurance, and 100 to your charge rate. Alright, so now I'm about to show you guys some of the best God Roll traits that you can have on this weapon for PvP that you want to be crafting. And it really just depends on your playstyle. And then I'm going to show you the best roles that I'm going to be crafting for my playstyle. Alright, so before we get into it, guys, there's something I got to explain to you guys when it comes to shotgun weapon range. So I'm going to use my level 6 crafted Wastelander for an example. Alright, so if you can see at the arrow, it has a range of 71. Now, as I craft it higher, I could get higher rolls, range of 78, 79, just giving an example. Now that's important, but more importantly is you're trying to figure out what is the max meters that your shotgun will do damage before it falls off. So for instance, with Wastelander, the max you could get is 8 meters when it comes to a crit shot. That's a one-shot kill. And when you're hip firing, the most you could get is 6.45 meters. So I don't care if your shotgun says, hey, it has 90 range, or it has 100 range, or it has 80 range. The most you could get on here is 8 meters, which is aiming down sights, a crit shot, or 6.5 meters, which is hip firing. And that's going to be very important when it comes to choosing perks for your God roll, because you don't want to have wasted stats on your weapon that you could be putting on other places, because your gun is going to max out at 8 meters range anyway. And another thing I want to point out before I go through these God roll perks is that this weapon, hip fire, is amazing, man. This gun has something like almost amazing aim assist that most weapons don't have when it comes to hip firing. And sometimes I aim down sight with this weapon, but you'll see lots of times, man, I do hip firing. All right, so when it comes to the best God roll perks for this weapon, we're gonna start with line number 1 first. And line number 1, we have small bore. This is gonna add +7 to your stability, also +7 to your range. This is actually the most popular weapon barrel to use on this weapon. Next, we have corkscrew rifling. Now this is going to add +5 to your stability. It's going to add +5 to your range, which is important. It's also going to add +5 to your handling, which is going to make it quicker for you to bring this weapon up to use. And then lastly, we have full choke, which it tightens the barrel. It reduces projectile spread when aiming down sight at the cost of precision damage. Now this used to be my favorite perk to use on shotguns, but now it has like a 0.6 seconds before the perk actually activates on it. And then on top of that, now it decreases the pellet spread by 3.75%, but it reduces your precision damage by 7.6. So aiming down sight is gonna decrease it, and then on top of that, it's gonna take 0.6 seconds for it to perk. So it's not as valuable as it used to be, but it's still a godly barrel. And some people say, well, what about rifle barrel? Ibetonme. I love to use that. Hey man, go with what you want to. Now in PvP, I really wouldn't use it, even though it adds +10 to your range. It takes away -15 to your handling. So I need my gun to be ready to shoot, man, and that takes away from that. But that's a good perk to use in PvE for sure. In line number 2, we're gonna go with light mag, which add +10 to your reload speed, +5 to your range. Also, we're gonna go with assault mag, which pound for pound is the best magazine in the game, because it increases your rounds per minute from 80 to 90. So it add +10. Also, it add +15 to your stability, and it catches guardians off guard who's rushing you thinking you're using the 80 rounds per minute, then they get popped with a 90 rounds per minute. That's a big difference how fast that gun shoots faster. Also, we have accurized rounds, which add +10 to your weapon range, and it's actually the second most popular trait in Destiny 2 for PvP. In line number 3, we're gonna go with enhanced air assault. Why? Because final blows grant an improved stacking bonus to your airborne effectiveness. So final blows with airborne grant increased stack. So it passively add 12 airborne to your effectiveness, but you could grant 2 stacks, okay? So each stack is 35 airborne effectiveness, and it lasts for 5 seconds. Now since releasing this perk, Bungie has rebuffed some of the airborne effectiveness, so it's not as much needed as used to, but it's still a good perk to use. So next is going to be enhanced perpetual motion. This weapon gain bonus stability, handling, and reload speed while the wielder is in motion for a short duration. All right, so to break it down, while moving at a minimum of 2 meters, you gain a stack. Now you gain a second stack after another 2 meters. And to get the enhance, you got to be moving for at least 9 seconds, okay? Now each stack provides 10 to your stability, 10 to your handling, and 10 to your reload speed. And all stacks are removed if movement speed is below 2 meters for 0.5 seconds. Lastly, we have enhanced slide shot. With sliding, partially reloads this weapon magazine and temporarily boosts range and stability greatly. So how it works, upon sliding, it's going to refill your magazine by 15%. It's also going to grant +20 to your range and 30 to your stability for 3 seconds or until you fire the weapon. And when the enhanced perk kick in, it's going to make the effect stronger. So in line number 4, we have enhanced killing wind. So final blows grant increased mobility, weapon range, and handling for an improved duration. So on weapon kills for 5.5 seconds, it increases your mobility. 40 to your handling, and 20 to your range. Also a 5% increased damage fall off to your distance. So you'll get around about 7 meters using this, which the most you can get is 8 meters, but 7 meters you will get with this trait. Also additional kills, extends the duration by 5 seconds up to 8 seconds, and the initial buff duration is increased by 0.5 seconds with enhanced perk. Now, one perk that you definitely don't want to sleep on, which is definitely good for PvE, but also is really good for PvP as well, is one-time punch. I actually had a God Roll prophecy shotgun that I used to use with 1-2 punch, and this thing was amazing. So after hitting a target, nearly every pellet in the shotgun increases your melee damage for a short duration. So in the shotgun, you have 12 pellets, all right? So with it enhanced, it only take 10 of those pellets to hit a person to perk it versus 12, and they're really good, man, because it increases your melee power by 100%, and even in PvE it's real good because it does against 100% against vehicles, against bosses. It actually could get up to 150% in PvE, but this is a really good trait that people sleep on in PvP. And lastly, in line number 4, we want to go with enhanced opening shot. It greatly improves accuracy and range on the opening shot of attack. So how it works with this, with the enhanced version, for 1 bullet now is going to increase your aim assist by 25%. It's also going to increase your range by 30%. So it's going to give you a -5% accurate cone size and a -10% accurate cone growth. So for 3.1 seconds, it's going to have a cooldown. So after you shoot it, you got to wait 3.1 seconds before you can perk it again. But it also adds +5 to your aim assist and range with the enhance. So if you are looking to get that 8-meter range for damage fall off that I talked about earlier, opening shot will make sure you get that 8 meters damage. All right, guys, so let's get into my perfect crafted God Roll Wastelander M5 shotgun that I'm gonna make, and I'm gonna explain to you guys why I went with the perks that I went with. All right, so let's look at the stats to the left. We got 91 range, 77 stability, 86 handling, 79 reload speed, 74 aim assistance. Guys, this is going to be a super fast shooting weapon. So let's look at the perks in the middle, okay? Now now remember I told you guys 8 meters is the max we could get. So this is going to give me 8 meters, but I'm also going to be able to use my stats, my perks on other stats that's going to make this weapon way better. So in line number 1, guys, we're going to go with small bore, which add +7 to my range, also +7 to my stability. Now remember I told you guys I used to go with full choke, but no longer. I'm going with small bore because for 2 reasons. Number 1, this gun has amazing hip fire accuracy, so I'm gonna get a lot of one-shot kills that way anyway, and if I don't, I'm gonna finish them up with a punch, okay? But then also remember I told you guys it's like a 0.6 seconds delay when you aim down sight, so and then you get a penalty for aiming down sight with full choke. So that's why I'm going with small bore. Now in line number 2, I'm gonna go with accurized rounds, which give me +10 to my range. Now normally I would go with assault mag, but since Bungie has nerfed our economy of special ammo, man, we only run around with 1 or 2 bullets at a time. So assault mag, normally we used to have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bullets in my shotgun at any given time easily. So man, I would just be letting that thing explode left and right. But now since, man, it's kind of hard to have as much ammo as we used to, that's why I went ahead and went with accurized rounds so I can get that increased range. All right, so in line number 3, I'm going with enhanced perpetual motion. Now you may be asking, Bet, why you not going with slide shot? Now normally I would, and that's a very good trait, but in line number 4, guys, we're already using opening shot, and that's a better trait than slide shot, so they kind of cancel each other out, because like I said, we only could get 8 meters of damage, and opening shot is going to give me that. So I would rather use enhanced perpetual motion, which is going to give me +20 to my reload speed, +20 to my handling, and also +20 to my stability. And in line number 5, guys, you gotta go with opening shot. It's gonna give you +25 to your aim assistance with this enhanced perk, also +30 to your range. So this is kind of like a no-brainer. All right, so let's look at the effects over to the left. We got small bore, we got accurized rounds, perpetual motion, we got opening shot. Also, we're gonna have the hot swap trait that's automatically on there. We're gonna go with a stability masterwork and a quick access sling mod. And I'm going with this mod because I don't have enough room for a dexterity mod on my armor, so that's why I'm going with this. But if you do have enough room for a dexterity armor or mod, I would suggest going with a counterbalance. And if you are interested in more Destiny 2 God Roll guide videos for both PvP and PvE, I would suggest you watch this playlist next. Also, don't forget to like and sub. You guys have a blessed day.